Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books from Book of the Month Club and beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee. It's not Tag Tuesday, but I'm getting caught up on some of my tags, and today I'm going to talk about the chess book tag. I was tagged by Pat at Book Chat with Pat, and this tag was originally created by Aaron at Read a Book. It's called Aaron Read a Book. And I'll be sure to put a link below. So here we go. Apparently, you do not need to know anything about chess in order to do this tag. But I guess it does help a little bit. I'm sure everybody knows at least enough that, the, the prompts make sense at least. And here we go. The first prompt is a pawn. So it's a book about a lowly character that rises through the ranks. Well, I was kind of having a hard time thinking of a book that I had read that would match with that. So I decided to take it and do it the opposite way. So this is a book about someone who started out his life as one person, a person who was, you know, pretty high up there in the ranks of actors who were very busy, very much in demand. I'm sure looked up to and envied by a lot of people for everything that he had done. He had much success very young in life. And then, unfortunately, due to a chronic disease called Parkinson's disease, he is really, for the most part at least, unable to really continue with those activities, at least nowhere near the level that he was at. I know he took a lot of time off from acting. I know he's acted in a few things. He's played the part sometimes of a person, with Parkinson's. So his life changed a lot. And it's interesting because it may have changed in some ways that we kind of think of as being very difficult and negative. And yeah, he's definitely had his hurdles. However, he's met those challenges with, I think, a lot of courage. And he has brought to us just a real understanding about living with a chronic disease in general, but also the fact specifically that Parkinson's is so much more than just shaky hands. And yeah, he's brought a lot of awareness, and I'm sure a lot of hope and encouragement to people who live with that disease. So yeah, Michael J. Fox. This one is called No Time Like the Future, but he's written several books, and I have this one. I enjoyed it. Very good book. So, a rook is a book that features a castle, a tower, or a chariot. Okay, well, just about the only book that I can think of right off the top of my head that would meet that criteria would be the Lord of the Rings series. And it has been so many years since I read that. Of course, I saw the movies. Definitely would consider reading it again, but it's a bit of a commitment. There's a lot of material there to read through. So, yeah, I would say that. I don't happen to have a copy of it right now, but how much you want to bet? Every time I mention something on my channel, I'll go to a yard sale or something and I'll find it. So look for that. That's coming up. So the next one is, and I think I have these a little bit mixed up, but we'll get through it. The next one is a knight. So this would be a book that has something about a knight in it. And let me make sure. A knight. Okay. All right. It doesn't have a knight in it. But anyway, Yeah. For a night, I was actually going to say, okay, I've got this totally mixed up, but that's all right. We're going to get through it. For a night, I have chosen, maybe I cheated a little, I don't know, Sir Elton John. Uh, as you can see, I went through a phase a few years ago where I had a lot of biographies that I read. Um, and this was one, again, that I truly enjoyed. I love Elton John. I have seen him in concert like 3, 4 times. And I'm actually in this book. I'm actually in this. I am on page 138, where he has written that he had a big performance in Massachusetts for the American Bicentennial on the 4th of July, and that would have been in 1976, where I dressed up as the Statue of Liberty. That's about me because I was there. I was there at that concert. So I'm on page 138. But yeah, I absolutely love Elton John. I saw him one time with Billy Joel. Let me tell you, the Piano Man, that's him. Elton John sat there, big embroidered jacket. It must have weighed a ton. Just playing the piano, not even breaking a sweat. Billy Joel, I mean, he looked like he was melting. Uh, Shirt soaking wet, everything, just to try to keep up. Elton is the man. I love Billy Joel too. Okay, so now I'll do a book about an animal or animals with bonus points if it's a horse. So, as soon as I saw the word horse, this one book came to mind. I had just talked about it on another tag as well, and that is the book Wild by Cheryl Strayed. There's a scene in there where I guess she's already begun her hiking and she's been walking, and then she goes home for a time and I think comes back to the trail at some point. But anyway, her family, and she talks about this in her book, they're in chaos. There's some kind of crisis that's happened. Nobody's really able to handle it, and nobody's really fulfilling the duties, that they have. Things are being let go. And one unfortunate circumstance is that there is a sick horse that belonged to someone in her family at some point. It's an old mare. She's a very gentle horse. And at this point in her life, she's very elderly. She needs to be put somewhere where, either her needs can be fully accommodated for her, or she just basically needs to be put out of her misery. Well, no one in the family steps up to do anything about this for this poor horse, and Cheryl Strayed ends up to being the one that has to take care of, actually assisting this horse into the great beyond. And that scene it struck me so much. I was listening to the book on audio, and I ended up in tears over this and just sobbing my heart out because it was so sad of a scene, first of all, for the horse, but then it just made me so angry that nobody else in her life could step up and actually have some courage and some heart, in this situation, and just let it roll down to her. The whole thing, it just got me in so many ways. I will never forget that scene. And it is the reason why I did not want to watch that movie, when it came out as a movie, because I did not want to see anything about this horse. And people have told me since then, there's no scene with a horse. So I don't know. I guess it's not even in the movie, but it made a big impression on me in the book. So that's my horse story. Okay, so now Bishop, a book that features religious characters or members of a church, and bonus points if it's a bishop. Okay, so I read this month Silence by Shusaku Endo. And this book is about Jesuit priests who bring the idea of Christianity to the Japanese, which is, it was a tall order. And there was a lot of turmoil and misunderstanding, and the aristocracy in Japan was not interested in hearing it. So a lot of people suffered as a result of that. And I'm sure there was a bishop in there somewhere, probably pulling the strings and directing the whole thing. But anyway, yeah, there's that story. This is good. It's translated from Japanese, so there are some points along the way where it's a little rough, but there are also some points where, I mean, the writing is just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, good book. So now Queen, a book about a strong female character. So for that one, I chose another book that I read this month, Enemies in the Orchard. And this is by Dana Vanderloop. And the female character in this book is a young lady. The book is set during World War II. And she lives on a apple farm, an apple orchard in Michigan with her family, with her mom and dad. And they actually have German POWs, they're prisoners of the United States, come and help on the orchard with the apple picking because it's a really busy time. And their family has gone to war. Their sons have gone to war. So there's a lot of feelings because, here's her brother, off, in another country in danger. And there's these, German POWs getting to enjoy a beautiful Michigan fall day picking apples. And the reason that I chose her as being a strong character is that she really rejects the female roles that are kind of put on her at the time. She wants to be more. She wants to have a career, and yeah, she wants to learn. She's an open person, but she still fulfills her obligation, to her family and to the farm. So she came to mind when that was mentioned. This is also this is written in verse, so it goes very quickly. Nice little, weekend read or something. So now A King, a book about a monarch or ruler. Well, last month I read Ghost Town Living about this gentleman, Brent Underwood. He owns a whole town. So he is whatever he wants to be. The monarch, the ruler, the mayor, the governor, the town manager. He's it. He's the end of the rainbow for the whole thing. And I can't imagine the kind of problem solving and, just creative thinking and support and money and time and effort and energy that's needed to be him, because they're converting this town into, a destination. And there's a lot that goes on. And he has a channel, a YouTube channel. That's how I found out about him. And subsequently, he wrote this book. And the minute he announced that on his channel, I knew that I had to get this book and read about it more. So yeah, very interesting. He's a very interesting person. His channel is great. I really highly recommend it. And the audio book to this, interestingly, he recorded 900 feet down in a mine. So yeah, very unique stuff and enjoyable. All right, so the last prompt, is to tag some people. I always leave my tags open. This is an easy one. This one's pretty easy. I don't know how I messed up the prompts, but I think I did a bonus one, so it's kind of okay. Anyway, if you want to do this one, I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. And I'd love to see your answers. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for your thumbs up. All those things. Thank you for hitting the notification bell. Thank you for bringing me very recently over 300 subscribers. I really appreciate that very, very much. Everyone go on to have a great day today. Take care.